Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 4 Thursday Night Football game between the Packers and the Lions. This is a little bit of a tricky game, guys. I'm recording this video on Wednesday afternoon, and there's some injuries we're going to have to monitor in this game. Christian Watson and Aaron Jones on the Packers side, both listed as questionable for this game, and then on the Lions side, David Montgomery is listed as questionable. So it's kind of tough. There's some key question marks right now, at least at the time I'm making this video, and we're probably not going to get any official word on these guys until inactives come out, 90 minutes before kickoff. So we're going to have to just kind of make some guesses here. Obviously, lines could change depending on if, Watson, Jones, Montgomery, if these guys are in or out. I'm just going to try and, give you guys the plays I like with the news that we have right now. I'm just going to assume that all these questionable guys play, but obviously things could change. But I do got two plays. I do have two plays I like for this Thursday night game. It's a tricky one. There wasn't a ton that stood out on the board. We're still waiting on some props to get added to. We don't have fantasy score props up yet for this game, and those are ones I really like to look at. But we do have a passing yard prop I like, and then we have a reception prop I like. So we're going to talk through the two props I do like for this Thursday night game, guys. Before we do get started, though, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can actually sign up for Prizepicks and use my promo code Noah. If you do look at the bottom of the screen, or just click the link down in the description when you sign up for Prizepicks, with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So basically, if you deposit $50, Prizepicks will give you an additional $50 to play with. If you deposit $100, they'll give you an additional $100 to play with. So make sure you use that code when you do sign up. Also, I do want to give a shout out to Sleeper because we are partnered up with Sleeper as well. You guys can sign up for Sleeper, use promo code Noah over there, and same thing, get your first deposit matched up to $100. Deposit 50, you'll get an additional 50. You deposit 100, you'll get an additional 100. Basically the same promo that Prizepicks is offering. But Sleeper, it is a little bit different than Prizepicks and some of these other pick'em apps. On Sleeper, it is a dynamic payout system, so there's not a ton of limits when it comes to the payout. You can win up to 100x your money over on Sleeper. You can make up to 8-pick entries. So if you're one of those people that really likes to chase those high payouts, I definitely recommend giving Sleeper a try. Obviously, sites like Prizepicks and Underdog, they limit how much money you can win. I think on Prizepicks it's 25x. On Underdog, I think it's 20x. It's the same on some other sites. Well, for Sleeper, you can make entries with up to 100x payout. So if you guys want to check out Sleeper, also you can sign up over there. Use that promo code Noah. Download the Sleeper app either on your App Store or Google Play Store. And when you do use that promo code, when you sign up, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. But yeah, guys, let's talk through this Thursday night game, and let's talk through a couple props I'm liking for this one. So the first prop we're going to take a look at is going to be passing yards. We're going to take a look at Jared Goff, 254.5 passing yards. And I actually like the under here, so I like less than 254.5 passing yards for Jared Goff. Now, through their first 3 games this season, Jared Goff has gone under this line in 2 out of 3 games. He had 253 passing yards against Kansas City, had a big game against Seattle, 323 passing yards. But then last week against Atlanta, 243 passing yards. Now, I was taking a look at some sportsbook lines before I started recording this video, and right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, they just added Jared Goff passing yards back up. So the line is sitting at 256.5, but it is heavily juiced towards the under, minus 130, favoring the under on his 256.5 passing yards. I'm fine taking the under on 254.5 here. This matchup against Green Bay, I don't think is the greatest. I think this is going to be kind of a slower paced, lower scoring game. This Green Bay offense, they like to run the ball. They like to chew the clock. They're not a team that's really going to go out there and throw it like 40 plus times. So when Green Bay has the ball, I do expect them to use a lot of the clock. And that's going to obviously keep the Detroit offense off the field, keep Jared Goff off the field, keep him from having opportunities to gain passing yards. And with potentially David Montgomery returning for this game, we could see the Lions lean a little bit more on their running game. They obviously did not have David Montgomery last week, but that didn't stop Goff from going under this line. I think it's kind of a similar situation to last week. So last week they played Atlanta. Atlanta's a team that really runs the ball, kills the clock when they have the ball. I think Green Bay's kind of going to be the same way this season. They're going to be a team that runs the ball a lot, tries to chew the clock up, and if they're if that's what they're doing, if they're keeping the Lions off the field, that's obviously good for our Jared Goff under here. But another big reason I like this play, if you actually take a look at Jared Goff, since he's been with the Lions, he has really struggled on the road for whatever reason. Jared Goff does play half of his games in Detroit, which is in a dome. And playing in a dome versus on the road, and especially in a hostile environment like Green Bay, I mean, that's a huge difference. Now, it's not going to be like super, super cold in Green Bay like it is, in like December and January. But I still don't think it's like the best, spot for this Lions offense. Like I would be surprised if this Lions offense goes out there and just puts up a ton of points in a hostile environment like this. And I was looking at Jared Goff's, home and road splits, and if you actually take a look, he's played 15 games on the road since he got with Detroit. He's under this passing yard prop in 11 out of those 15 games. So there's only been 4 road games where he's gone over 200, where he's had 255 and a half or 255 passing yards or more. He did have, in terms of passing yards, looking at the games on the road where he went over this line, he had 355 against Carolina, 299 against Chicago, 277 against Minnesota, and then 268 against the Rams. The game against Minnesota, that was an indoor game. The game against the Rams, that was an indoor game. Well, on the road against Kansas City, 253. Against the Jets, 252. He's faced this Packers team twice on the road, had just 246 and 224 passing yards in those 2 games. So Goff has really, really struggled on the road since being with the Lions. I know this Lions offense is, improving. They look a lot better than they have in the last few years, but this is still not the best spot for Goff, not the best spot for this Lions offense. And facing a Green Bay team that, again, will, pound the rock, that's going to chew the clock. Potentially, if the Lions get Dave Montgomery back as well, that could be another reason that hurts Goff. They could lean a little bit more on their running game if they have David Montgomery back. So all those things factoring in, I like this under of 254.5 passing yards for Jared Goff here as our first play for this game. And then the other play that I like, we're going to take a look at the receptions category. We're going to look at Luke Musgrave, 3 receptions, and I do like the over here, so more than 3 receptions for Luke Musgrave. Now, if you take a look at Luke Musgrave's game log this season, for some reason they don't have his game posted from last week. They only have 2 of his 3 games posted. But last week he did have a big game in terms of receptions. He did have 6 receptions last week against New Orleans on 8 targets. And then in that game against Atlanta, he saw 3 targets, had just 2 receptions. And then against Chicago, he saw 4 targets, had 3 receptions. He has been operating, though, as the clear number 1 tight end for the Packers, and it looks like he's going to be their number 1 tight end the rest of the season. You take a look at snap counts so far this season, 75% of the snaps played in Week 1 for Musgrave, 88% of the snaps played in Week 2, and then last week he played 86% of the snaps. So we can expect him to play between probably 75 to 85% of the snaps. He's going to be on the field for a large majority of the offensive snaps. He's going to be out there running routes, and he's shown some upside so far as a receiving tight end. He is someone they will involve in the passing game. My only concern that is that if Christian Watson does come back for this game, I do worry a little bit about that maybe affecting Luke Musgrave's target share so far this season in the 3 games he's played. I mean, his target share has been solid, just around 16%. Hasn't been great, but a 16% target share isn't bad for a tight end, especially when you're talking about a tight end that we need to only get 3 receptions. But if we project Musgrave for like 4 to 5 targets here, he's typically not a guy that's going to run like a ton of deep routes. So he's typically going to run shorter routes, which hopefully will mean easier receptions. It's a lot easier to catch a short route like a slant or like a drag route than it is to catch a vertical deep shot. And typically Musgrave's not going to run a ton of vertical deep shots. He's going to run like out routes, slants, stuff like that. So if he's going to project to see like 5-6 targets here, I think we have a good chance of him getting at least 3 receptions. I think he can at least push this line. If not, get 4+ receptions or more. And I was looking at DK Sportsbook right now. They do have his line set at 3.5. It is favoring the under, -140, favoring the under on 3.5 receptions for Musgrave. But that's not like heavy juice. I mean, it's not like he's -200 or something to go under 3.5 receptions. He's only -140. So I actually like the over here of 3 receptions for Musgrave, just with the role that he's had in this offense, with how many snaps he's been playing, with the routes he's been running. Again, I know there's a chance that Christian Watson could return for this game, which maybe affects Musgrave's target share a little bit. I don't think it's going to affect Musgrave's enough to where this line goes down. Like, I think this line's going to stay at 3 regardless. On the chance that Christian Watson doesn't play, I could see this line getting bumped up to 3.5. Even if Christian Watson does play, I don't see this line going down to 2.5. So I think it's going to stick at 3, and it could get bumped up maybe if Christian Watson doesn't play. But I do like the over here of 3 receptions for Musgrave. And it is a really good matchup as well. If you look at where Detroit has ranked so far this season against tight ends, Detroit has really struggled against the tight end position. Now, I know it's only a 3-game sample, but through their first 3 games, Detroit leads the league in targets allowed to tight ends, 36. They lead the league in receptions allowed to tight ends, 25. And they also lead the league in receiving yards allowed to tight ends, 263. So This Detroit team has been very vulnerable against the tight end position so far this season. That maybe that changes as the season progresses, but to begin the year, this has been a really good matchup for tight ends going up against Detroit. And I think it's a really good spot here for Musgrave. The role he's had in this Packers offense, I think, has been really good. He's been an every down tight end, and he's a pretty good pass catcher. They will involve him in the passing game. It's not like he's just going to be out there blocking. So these are the two plays, guys, that I do like for this Thursday night game between the Packers and the Lions. Again, I'm recording this video on Wednesday, and there's some news we're going to have to keep an eye on with Aaron Jones, with Christian Watson, with Dave Montgomery. Depending on if those guys are in or out, that could impact some lines, that could change some things. But I think for now, we're pretty set with our plays. Like, I don't see these lines changing much. Even if Montgomery's out, I don't think that really impacts Goff's passing yard projection too much. If Christian Watson and Aaron Jones play, I don't see this line on Musgrave going down to 2.5. I think it would just stick at 3. So I like these plays. I feel comfortable taking these plays, even not knowing that news. And I think maybe if Dave Montgomery plays, if Christian Watson, Aaron Jones don't play, then that would obviously be great for us. I think Dave Montgomery playing would be good for our Jared Goff under passing yards. And I think Christian Watson and Aaron Jones, if they don't play, well, obviously that's good for our Musgrave prop here. So these are the two props I'm liking for Thursday night, guys. Tricky game. Don't feel great about a lot on the board right now, but maybe Prizepicks will add some more plays on Thursday, and I can take a look then. If I do find any more plays that I like for this game, I will share those over on Patreon. So as always, if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos and you want more Prizepicks plays from me, I give those out on Patreon, linked down below in the description. Also do give out sleeper plays on Patreon. And again, if you guys don't have a sleeper account, you can sign up for sleeper. Use that promo code NOAH over on sleeper. Get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up for sleeper with my promo code. Also, if you guys don't have an account on Prizepicks, use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But good luck this Thursday night, guys. Thanks as always for watching the videos and supporting the content. Appreciate you guys a ton. Let's make some money on this game, and let's try and cash out. But either way, guys, appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.